Yeah.
Okay, order. I think the first thing we've got to do is congratulate Barbara on her victory in the by-election last week. So well done, Barbara. Please, can I have my shoes healed at your expense?
Yes.
and Alex will need her sold as well as here. Right, okay, here we go. So, are there any apologies, please?
Yeah, I've received apologies from councillors Davies, DePeter, Shepherd, Lawson and Woodall.
Right, thank you. So, there's my words. Please note that this meeting may be filmed for live or subsequent broadcast via the internet or social media. Please be advised that the Town Council does not record or live stream meetings. We fully support the principle of openness and transparency. And I should have said my name, shouldn't I? I assumed you all knew me by now.
No, we do.
Yeah. We have no objection to filming and reporting at full council and at committee meetings that are open to the public. The council also welcomes the use of social networking websites such as Twitter and Facebook to communicate with people about what is happening as it happens. Filming will only commence at the beginning of a meeting when the chair opens the meeting with apologies, which I have done, and will finish when the meeting is closed or when the public may be excluded from an exempt item. The council, members of the public and the press may record, film, photograph or broadcast this meeting, and the public and the press are not lawfully excluded. So I'll just read through the general powers of competence quickly. The Town Council resolved from the 15th of May 2023 until the next relevant annual meeting of the Council that having met the conditions of eligibility as defined in the Localism Act 2011 and SI 965, the Parish Council's General Power of Competence prescribed conditions Order 2012 to adopt the General Power of Competence. So we have had apologies from several people. We are asked to note the committee minutes from the Planning Committee from the 2nd of February and the 2nd of March 2026, the Communities Committee the 9th of February 2026, and the Finance Committee the 23rd of February 2026. Can we say that we have all noted these, please? Anybody noted? Yes, thank you. And then full council minutes. Meeting of the full council held on the 26th of January 2026. Can I be authorised to sign as chair this as a correct record the minutes of the meeting of full council held on the 26th of January 2026? I will propose. Can I have a second?
Propose an amendment.
Right, yes.
PTC 25/87.
Have you got a page number?
No.
Roger. No? Right.
Yeah.
The scheduled meeting for Monday the 30th of March 2026.
It was at that time, wasn't it?
Yes,
But
it was.
changed latterly.
It was changed since
Yeah.
the meeting.
So at that meeting it was going to be
It
the
was.
30th.
It was correct
Oh,
at
was
the
it?
time of the minutes,
Oh.
yes, but subsequently the meeting was
It's
changed.
changed.
Yeah, so the minutes are a correct record of what happened.
Yeah.
So I've proposed, somebody seconded. Thank you, Scott. All in favour, please? Thank you. Thank you. And it is 16th of the 3rd, 2026. There we are. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Declarations of interest and requests for dispensations. Are there any from members? Any? If any come up in discussion later that you wish to confess, admit, and realise, please raise it then, okay? Public participation. You can receive questions or representations from members of the public. Do we have any questions?
I'm asking this on behalf of Penrith Town News. I would have put via an email, but at this moment in time the Town Council appears incapable of responding to emails for press inquiries unless it's press organisations that it's paying for advertising with. The question is, the government launched a scheme earlier this year for the Town of Culture for 2028. Westmoreland and Furness Council were originally going to back a bid for Barrow. However, they've now said that they would not back one particular bid for Barrow, but would work with all councils, anybody that wanted to in the district to put forward a bid. Is Penrith Town Council intending before the end of this month submitting an expression of interest for Town of Culture 2028 for Penrith, or working with organisations to submit the bid?
I am aware of this, and I'm aware of other councils that have already submitted bids, and we will send you a written reply in, is it 7 working days? 5 working days.
Right, thank you.
Right. Yeah. Excluded item. We have to determine whether any items should be considered in detail without the presence of the press and the public. We have got an item in the latter part of the meeting.
Item 22 is proposed to be considered in part 2, staffing matters on the basis of its personal sensitive information and financial information relating to staff.
Yes. So that meets the criteria for excluding from the public part of the meeting. So I propose that we move item 22 to private part of the meeting. You seconded, Scott, thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Carried. Right. Report from the council chair. I had a piece of paper when I sent it up. What am I doing? I've lost it. It's been a fairly quiet time since the last council meeting. With my escort, I attended the Lions Club 50th anniversary dinner, which was a very wonderful occasion. It's amazing to think that the Lions Club have been serving this town as volunteers for 50 years, and it was really a remarkable occasion. I felt very privileged to be there. We recently presented the community awards, you've seen in the press and in our newsletter, and 2 out of those 3 awards went to young people, which is very gratifying, I think. And I also attended a cheque award to Penrith Mountain Rescue Team. They'd applied for a grant and we gave them one, and we had a photo opportunity. And I have a feeling there's one other thing, but I can't remember what it is. I've got a piece of paper.
Did that here? Saw you with it?
Yeah, I had it.
Okay.
Oh, there we are. Oh yes, how could I forget this? This was last week. This is how easily I could forget this. I gave a talk.
It's all the same for all of us, don't we?
I gave a talk to Penrith WI, which was very interesting. They had lots of questions, and somebody said to me, somebody yesterday said to me they'd read the report in the Herald, and they had thought, oh, that's a good idea, and then I might be invited somewhere else to give a talk about being met. But it all spreads out, you know. I told them about the things that the town council were responsible for and the things that Westmoreland and Furness Council were responsible for. And although this is freely available all over the place, wherever you go, you find people who have no idea and think that we're responsible for potholes and, you know. So, oh, right, okay, thank you. Right. So, over to you to do yours.
So I visited Penrith Happy Mums, and we presented a cheque to go towards helping mums with maternal mental health issues.
Carry on, right, David, please.
In my hat on, which is kind of connected to Congress Clothing Collective, I went to Reading on the 28th of February for their Rewear, Repair, Revolution Day. I have to say, I struggled to find a parking space. It was that popular. I didn't stay a huge amount of time. Got a bit misled with that signage. But I made that, fed that back through to the lady. Interesting, lots of ways to recycle clothing. There was clothing swap, bring 4, take 4. There was an lady doing do your colours, so I have my colours done. And now warm spring, so I've got the autumn colours on. Right, so it was an interesting accumulation of lots of things there. How to invent your sewing machine, you know, and there were fashion shows going on, so you could go on forever. So the secondary school did a fashion show, they recycle clothing, and I have to say, just looking at them queuing up to go on stage, they look stunning. And then there was primary school children that had done some recycling of hats and things, and they were so excited to be involved with it. I think it will run this and stuff else. So that was a really interesting thing to do. And there were films and talks as well. Coming up with PAC, there's CD Saturday on the 28th of March at the Methodist Church. I think you'll probably know about CD Saturday. You can get your free seeds. And there are speakers there. Sheila Todd on Mindfellside Garden, Elizabeth Wood Gardening in a Changing Climate, and Paul Cambray are Growing Well and looking at mental health and health, which sounds really interesting to go and listen to. So that's kind of my news to the next step. Okay. Dan?
Yeah, well, 3 things. I'll lead with the probably most important, because we had Ian and myself had a session with Westbourne and Furness, opposite numbers, on the pump track, which is wonderful. The current status is, I'm sure this is fine, we've ring-fenced £50,000 towards it. Westbourne and Furness have got 20 they can put in, which leaves the balance to be raised through some form of funding, and Ian's going to take that charge on board and see what can happen. We agreed with them that, and this is hopefully going to happen by March next year, will be built. Yeah, which will be fantastic. They're going to maintain ownership of the design and the site, etc., etc. The site still, the third one is behind the sports centre. We've requested regular meetings with them, so none of this will disappear for 6 months. We're still in the same place at the end of it. And one of the things that also fell out of it is for Lewis, really, is we thought it would be a great idea to somehow get our progress going on the council website, which actually starts a little bit of public engagement, because I think there's a lot of people that are very, very interested in it. I mean, everything from inviting youngsters to contribute their ideas to what this thing's going to look like. So that's the pump track. The other 2 pieces really are sort of more for information, so I'm not sure what control, if any, we've got this. One is handrails at Thacker Beck, where the steps leading down. When I was out supporting my Glorious Wife campaign, a lot of people were complaining that at night time, well, even at daytime, there's no handrails for them, and there's an awful lot of steps. So I don't know whether we can do something.
Can I interrupt you there?
Yeah.
As ward councillor, I have asked Westbourne and Furness, I don't know how many times, for a handrail there, and answer has nothing has happened.
Well, we've got Westbourne and Furness councillor here now.
So we have.
I will make a note. I will make a note. We follow that.
I mean, it's pretty sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. I also had lots of complaints from residents about the state of those steps, because some of them had vision strips, some of them didn't, some of them had bits sticking out, some of them didn't.
Lack of lighting.
Lack of lighting, nobody's complained about that yet, but yeah.
Anyway, and the final thing is I bumped into a couple who we were talking, I don't know how and they have personal experience of a parking scheme in Hexham, which sounds fantastic, where they have effectively 3 coloured schemes, 3 sort of coloured lines on the road. And I think sort of one coloured line you can park for 4 hours, another one for 6 or something, and another one you just sort of leave the car there and it doesn't matter. And I'm wondering whether Westbourne and Penrith might take that idea on Penrith and Penrith.
I know they're talking about parking, it's a hot topic.
It really is, because it increases footfall, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
It talks to any business, that's the one thing. There's I
Yeah.
mean, even in, I had a haircut the other day, so I go
did?
to, I go to a ladies' hairdresser, and even the lady that was cutting my hair said it was ridiculous, not only for staff who have to pay fortunes to park the car every day, but even ladies that are having their hair done, apparently 3 hours ain't enough. And a lot of them have to rush out even with their hair wet. So there you go. I think something really should be done. That's it for me.
Thank you. Well, we have an intro now.
Yeah, sorry, I can't follow that.
No, it would be difficult, wouldn't it? Anything to report, Roger?
No.
No? Paul?
The only thing that I would report is that on several occasions I've tried to tidy up the car park, which is between the bus station and the co-op building, that really little area which is, you know, just neglected by I don't know who really, like sort of, I've sent several letters to the council and I just keep picking things up and it's not as bad as it used to be. There used to be a
Bridge in the city there.
Oh, that's true, yeah. It was like I used a set of friends. But there used to be a clothes bank there, and clothes just became a bit like sort of alive. What was underneath. But so I just keep thinking I hate it every time I walk past it.
Has the
It's
clothes
so
bank
bad.
been removed?
That has been removed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a bit of an
Salvation
issue
Army.
with all the sites where there's some sort of recycling centre. They do seem to get abused, don't they?
Well, if they're not collected, then nobody's gonna. You know, people just bring the clothes thinking they can dump them in the box, and then they end up leaving them outside. So that was taken away, rather than actually just come and empty it now and again. They just took it out there.
I think the clothing ones are actually privately owned. It's not a council
Possibly.
thing. Yeah. But
It's
things,
nothing to do with the shop anyway.
No.
The shop, the Salvation Army shop.
no, things like that. It's better to submit a complaint on the Westmoreland and Furness website rather than write a letter. If you send a complaint in, you get a number which you then can use to follow up.
I thought if it was a headed letter, it might actually sort of make a difference. But and I
No.
can't quite remember who owns.
Well, we'll be told
It
it's
doesn't matter who
private.
owns. It doesn't matter
What
who
happened?
owns.
It's private land.
I
Yeah.
did something with this a year or so ago, and whoever the agents are, they said they would do it, and they did actually.
They did for because we got some bags and
That's
didn't
right,
we?
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
we?
But that
But if
seems
you complain to Westmoreland and Furness, they will, if it's not their responsibility, they will contact the agents and tell them to clean it up.
The building has now has no signage of who who the letting agent or the non-letting agent is. It's fallen to bits. And I'm thinking of writing about the boarding around the entrance to the court because there's some. They cordoned it off when it closed down years ago, and it now looks as though it could fall any minute. I think, which would be very dangerous.
I think that ought to
taken
go
a
to
photograph
Westmoreland and Furness
to,
then as
yeah.
a safety issue for please.
I apologise, Chair, there was one other meeting as well that we attended. Westbourne and Furness again, this was around signage and how we could improve the signage on shops within
Oh yes.
areas.
Yes.
So we've given them what we think would be nice, and apparently some of the other towns also have similar
Standard.
arrangements. And one of the things I suggested to Councillor Jackson was perhaps the planning committee actually get together with our cohorts and actually bring this en masse to Westbourne and Furness to see whether we can actually leverage a little bit of progress.
We have discussed the signage of shops, haven't we, at planning committee? So yes.
I think it would be It'd be pretty powerful if Kendal, Penrith, etc., got together. So hey guys,
Yeah.
Westmoreland
I suspect
Furnace.
they'll all have slightly different details, but the principle will be the same.
but it's
It's
a
in
lever.
keeping with our communities. Yeah.
And it's to get Westmoreland Furnace to sort of bring in some action.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, just on the signs, years and years ago, the Civic Society, back in the days of that, there was signage,
Yes.
colour schemes, and they were on the go then, so whether they were lost in the annals of something, but that's a sort of similar thing. Just I missed the Big Ed thing. My daughter was there on behalf of this company.
Oh, yes.
She was speaking on behalf of that. So I was really, it seems an amazing day.
Yeah.
Locally, Cumbria Wildlife, Cold Springs. I was talking with Cold Springs the other day. I haven't done much for a while, but it's progressing. Everybody's been up there lately. And I saw the path that we had to fund and planting trees. And bit by bit.
Have they got tadpoles in that pond that we...
The ponds, I haven't seen a pond. There's a new pond being built.
We helped fund the viewing platform, didn't we?
Yeah, that's along the bottom.
Yeah.
So the actual, the new path
Yeah.
links across when you go along round the trees and come back down again. That's the new path along there, and that's looked to be a few people using that. So, and I was involved with the Eden Rivers Trust one, which is in the planting trees, and then the notice is slowly progressing. We've got mail click notice, but that's in due course. Not much else.
Councillor Kelly.
I'm continuing to pursue the emergency vehicle access question which was raised by residents. It came up during the meeting I had a couple of months ago now with the developers that there is meant to be an emergency access route through the top of the site using which has what I think what you generically call crash gate. I flagged with Persimmon about getting precise details of that. Now, the person who I've been dealing with did promise me that I'd have a full explanation and details of how that works and where it's located, because I do have questions in my mind about how practical it is. And I was promised I would have that for today, but the person's been away and I haven't had an update. So as soon as I get an update on that, I will let everyone know.
I think it would be somewhere obvious.
Well, I think I know what it is. There is a wooden bar gate at the top of the cul-de-sac, and I think that is meant to be the emergency access. But I'm not clear how, say, a fire engine would get to it, and that's what I want them to clarify. Because they must have that down on their plan, and it will have been part of the planning process. But I actually wanted them to give me a diagram, a map, detailing that, and then we can then look at it and assess it as to whether it's viable or not.
Thank you. Councillor Deacon.
After speaking to so many of my residents, I think they're probably sick of me over the last couple of weeks. Some things they brought up, revitalising the town centre. So I went away to Lucky Party conference over the weekend, had a lot of conversations with a lot of other councils about how they've been dealing with revitalising the town centre. Then I spoke at the conference to talk about how we can best bring homes back in town centres that are like the Flatsburgh shops and empty homes that are around town that aren't even second homes, that are just completely unlived in, see if there's a way that we can support those coming back into use, because the more people that are in town centre, the more foot traffic people are going to get and the safer people are going to feel, especially women walking at night. So the more we can get people in town centres, the better. So I'm trying to find some ways into supporting that.
There are a surprising number of people living in the town centre. I know from some recent envelope addressing that I was involved in.
Right, and I found from the same thing that going down random alleys with like 8 houses, and then there's only like maybe 2 of them with addressed people at. So it'd be nice.
Flats. There's something called Central Buildings, and I'm thinking, where's that? But it's up behind Dockery Hall. Hidden. Lots of people live there.
Yeah, but a lot of the flats have got like 2 out of 8 flats or something. So it'd be nice if we get all of them occupied and get some places for young people to live near the town centre.
Yeah. Thank you. Councillor Jackson.
Hello. I very much appreciated the meeting that Councillor Jason has already alluded to. We had a lovely discussion with Westmoreland and Furness's enforcement officer. It's interesting to note the various levels of permissions required for advertisement consent, separate from the planning. So that was interesting. Good to feed in also this council's discussions on signage policies and hopefully get them looked at as part of the local plan. I also went to a lovely briefing about proposed traffic improvements in the town. It's great that Westmoreland and Furness, despite obvious budget pressures, can still bring in good amounts of funding from government to improve junctions and such like. So it was preliminary consultations. Look forward to more and with the general public and see what comes out about it. Very early stages and nothing finalised yet on various things, but very, very, very interesting and hopefully improve the town. Yeah, very encouraging. I also had discussions with not formally, but with Westmoreland and Furness officers and police officers about HGV issues on Norfolk Road and crossing Castletown Bridge. And although the problem can look very bad when a large vehicle is traversing a bridge, it doesn't. The numbers show it isn't quite as bad as possible as it's sometimes reported. The police have done traffic checks, camera checks, taken data, taking an evidence-based approach to finding out what the issue is. Westmoreland and Furness officers have done excellent work surveying all the people on Norfolk Road, not just on traffic issues, but general issues. So it's excellent to hear about that. And a good number of people responding, no problems. So it's nice to be able to hear that.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually an item on a tick box, but a lot of people felt the need to say, no, everything's okay. So that was interesting to hear. And also that Westmoreland and Furness is going to improve the signage coming out of Gilwilly. And of course they talk with the industrial bid and businesses to try and highlight that it isn't a left turn that you should be taking, it's a right turn. So it's not something that's being ignored, it's something that's being looked at with evidence and with action.
Good. That's very positive, thank you. Lots of positive things tonight, isn't that? That's really good, thank you. Right. Where are we? We've done that. Right, the resolutions report, which is, I think, page 11. Are you going to speak on this, Ian?
Yeah, the resolution report is to note that there's 2 points of interest to give an update on. So it's resolution 2565, which was a full council matter in December. The resolution was to submit a letter to the environment agency inviting them to a meeting. The letter was sent to the environment agency. There's been no agreement to schedule a meeting. The clerk has followed up with the environment agency, advising that the matter will be coming back to yourselves. There's been no further correspondence, but the clerk did mention in her email to the EA that the potential resolution may be to escalate the matter to the MP, at which point that might be something you want to consider.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think going to the MP is a really important thing to do, and it was a respectful thing to do to go to the EA first, but it's the MP who will have access to the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of State who would, through their good offices, have more chance of affecting the conduct and expertise available to the Environment Agency, because I think that's one of the issues that we're concerned about, is that they don't have the right information and without the right information, they can't make the right decisions. So I think MP, Secretary of State, now that the MP's got a whip bag.
Yes.
Yes,
Indeed.
yes.
So, I was going to propose a motion that we did ask the town clerk to invite the MP and inform the Environment Agency of this decision. Can I assume you will second that?
Very much so.
Councillor Jackson. Can we have a vote of hands, please? Because this is quite a big thing. So show of hands. That's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Second resolution is 2584 from full council 26th of January, which was initially was whether we wanted to appoint a member onto an outside body, Health Watch West Cumbria. Viv has been in correspondence with them, as we understand it, the group is likely to be dissolving in 2027, as she understands it. So really again, the question is, do members want to consider whether to appoint a member or on the basis of the likely to dissolve in the next year, are they wanting just to forego that at the moment and not have a representative on that body?
I think the way it ought to work is that
Chair gets to speak first if she likes.
but I think the way it ought to work is that I propose a motion and people either second it or don't. So I am going to propose that we do not appoint a representative to the Health Watch. Do I have a seconder for that? Thank you. Anybody wish to speak? No?
Other than to say that I don't want to be kept informed.
As I say, we can maintain a contact with them by
Yes.
email, and
Yeah.
if there's anything of relevance, we can share it with yourselves. And you know, and readdress it if we have to,
Yeah.
but we can share it.
Councillor Snell was our representative on it and she did report back, but the meetings were few and far between, so, you know, yeah. Right, so all in favour then of not appointing a representative? Thank you. Right, moving swiftly on because we've got a lot to cover. Right, resolutions report. Grants report, please.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. So this is in two parts, members. So 9A is a sort of regular update you get regarding grants and the sort of this is the last meeting of full council. So just to bring your eye over, you'll note that for the 2025-26 budget we've got £30,000, but we've had a couple of projects from the 2024-25 year be undelivered, which means there's an underspend there, which we've been able to carry over through to this financial year, giving us an extra 1,367 to the original £30,000 budget. And you'll note that since the last meeting of full council, we've awarded 4 different grants. So Penrith Squash Club, £5,000 for the refurbishment for squash courts. Drum and Brass, it's a year-long programme, £1,100 towards a year-long programme of inclusive music sessions. Euphoric Circus, £1,000 was Mentoring Monday, so 35 structured youth leadership and mentoring sessions. And then finally, Fell Runner Village Bus, £3,000 was the operation of the Fell Runner service to and from Penrith.
Thank you.
Sorry, check. Lewis, that drum and is that the mob that were?
No, it's slightly different, so a different organisation.
Do we give grants to them because they were such a rocket hit?
Was that Blue Jam? Blue Jam, yeah, they got a grant earlier this year, so if you look at page 15.
45 family jam music sessions, Blue Jam, successful again funded for this year.
Yeah, so if everyone's happy to note that, I'll move on to the second section, which is the Community Grant Scheme Review. So the report in front of you presents the outcome of a review of the Community Grant Scheme and seeks approval to adopt the revised scheme documentation for 2026 to 28, the remainder of this term of council. So the review found that the scheme continues to work well and remains in high demand, given last year we obviously spent pretty much all the funding and this year the same. But that the supporting documents would benefit from being refreshed to reflect current best practice and learning from the recent funding years. So the updated guidance, application form, scoring framework, and monitoring report improve clarity, consistency and transparency, whilst keeping the scheme proportionate and basically accessible for the local groups. So members are asked to approve and adopt the revised community grant scheme documentation. This would allow the revised scheme to be in place on the 1st of April 2026, which is alongside the refresh of the budget for 2026 as well. So if anyone has any real questions on either the application form, guidance, scoring form, or the monitoring
I thought it was very good. I like the plain.
The layout is very good, isn't it?
I'd like to propose then that we adopt the revised grant scheme guidance and the application form and the scoring form. Can I have a second for that, please? Thank you, Councillor Kelly. All in favour? Thank you. We missed out the signature grants budget on page 16.
Apologies, Chair. Yeah, just to reconfirm again, so we've spent that budget for this year. So it was 5,000 towards winter droving and Christmas spa events.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Right. So we don't need to do anything about that then? No. Good. Right. Okay.
Probably not reading it right. Bottom of page 19, the total grants awarded in 25-26, just over 30,000, and yet item 4B on the next page says a total of 20,000.
Yes.
And there's 9.5.
That's a typo, Roger. Apologies. I did mention it to the clerk, but it must have just gone beforehand. So it's 30,000. 30,091. So apologies. It's just a typo from last meeting with the council.
Spot on.
Yes.
Spot on.
Yes. Yes. I thought I read it carefully, but you know, you read it even better. Thank you, Roger. Right. Moving on. May Day. I did bring my laptop in case we needed to look at everything. Hope you don't. Right, May Day.
59.
Page 59.
Because I'm scrolling through.
Yes, page 59. We've got two recommendations here, and I propose that we take them separately. So the first one is a recommendation to approve the event plan for May Day 2026, noting that it remains a working document and may be subject to amendment ahead of the event. So I will propose that. Is there a seconder, please? Thank you, Deb. Any questions?
Well, I would just say, I think the main thing, just so everyone's up to speed, is that the events officer is obviously leading the organisation of May Day with partners. I think in respect to the event plan, the event is progressing. There's no foreseen risks at the moment. The programme's filling up nicely. Exhibitors are signing up.
Promotion started.
Promotion has started this week. And then from a risk perspective, we consider that all things are being managed, being picked up. We're working closely with the Safety Advisory Group, which is Westland First Council, and it includes emergency services. So everything's progressing on schedule as it stands. We're pleased with that.
So I've proposed, it's been seconded. Can we have a vote that we approve the event plan, please? All in favour? Yeah, thank you. So then moving on to the risk assessment, Ian's already covered quite a bit about that. It's a very thorough risk assessment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And then again, it's all subject to change. We're constantly engaged with the Safety Advisory Group, and the officers that's represented on them are reading our event plan, they're reading our appendices, our management plans, and they're now providing us with pointers of feedback, which is good. So we can take those points on board, factor them into the event risk assessment. The suppliers provide the insurance, their risk assessments, etc. So, all being well, all in good order.
All in good order.
Yeah.
So I propose that we accept the risk assessment for May Day. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Ron. Any questions? We are employing professional stewards this time, aren't we? Well, some of them, not stewards, safety people then. There's something
No,
like
we've
going.
got external traffic management,
Thank you. Yes.
and they'll manage key junctions for us on the day.
Yes.
So that's all in train,
But
and then
we're
stewarding.
invited to be stewards.
So if you're willing and available, it'd be great if you are available to assist on the day.
If you're available and unwilling, too bad, just please come.
Contact Annabelle and she'll assign you duties. I think she's going to do it on shifts this year, so it's like different to last year.
And you'll be pleased to know, Debbie, I'm sure you've spotted it, that there is improved litter provision.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Deb and I were collecting with our bare hands last year.
We contracted that
Ian
out.
and Lewis came to help them.
We did, but we weren't great helps, to be honest.
We
So,
bought some bin bags.
so we've contracted out in that.
Dan.
Sorry, yeah, just one question for Ian. Last year, there was one of the lessons learned was, didn't we start winding down the first aid?
Yeah, so it's contracted to 7 p.m. No, well actually we originally contracted to 5 p.m.
That's right, yeah.
But then through the SAG group they've asked us to extend it to 7 p.m. prior to the event day, which we did. So this year from point of order we've done from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Great.
So it's all in place to cover the full extent of the fun fair.
Yeah, so we should be well covered.
Yeah.
Right, can we have a vote on that then, please? Oh, sorry, Roger.
Yeah, again, I'm probably not reading the figures right.
I suspect you are.
4D. Well, 4C, so 15,000 has been allocated within the current financial year, which shows up on the control screen. A further budget allocation of 20,000 for the following financial year, that's 26-27.
New year going into, one year going into 26-27.
Yes.
26-27.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
within the 25-26 we've got 15.
Yeah, because the issue is that the expenditure falls over 2 years. You see
Yeah.
some pre-event, some post-event expenditure.
Right.
So it's increased from 26-27,
Right.
which will cover part of the 2026 event.
Right.
Okay. Right, any other questions? Can we have a vote please to approve the risk assessment for May Day? Thank you. Okay. Right, moving on. It is a community governance review. I haven't got any paperwork for this at all. Yeah. No, I'll do it.
I've got an update
Point B, right, okay. Community governance review. I don't think we had any. Did we have paperwork on this either?
No, it's just literally on the agenda.
it's just come up by email. It wasn't loaded in the corporate.
If you remember, we spent some time looking at where the new houses were being built in Penrith and the allocation of councillors to better reflect the population. And so we have had some support then from West Midland Furnace, I think this is from, is it not?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically now the next stage of the consultation, which includes that
Yeah.
point.
So they note that the proposed number of councillors is to be increased from 15 to 17 as we proposed, and the ward representations are Carlton 3, Penrith East 3, Penrith North 5, Pategill 1, Penrith South 2 and Penrith West 3. So that's what we agreed at our meeting. So also we need to note that the proposed recommendation to amend boundary at Emont Bridge has been, well, the town clerk has sought the opinion of Yanmath and Emont Bridge Council about this because it's taking the bottom end of Pategill Walk and the bottom end of South. This side of the river, it's changing the historic boundary because the river was always the boundary, wasn't it? So it's quite a significant thing, but the proposal is to move them into Yanmath and Emont Bridge parish and
Out of town council.
Yes.
Seems logical.
Sorry?
Seems logical.
It does seem logical. It
And
makes
make the A66 as the A66 as the boundary, possibly.
no, because we need the fire and rescue and ambulance things.
It's
to be-
down deal anyway,
Yeah.
it seems.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be an artificial line drawn. So,
Just wanted to come in at that point. The town clerk contacted the clerk of Yanworth and Eden Bridge Parish Council just for their view on the proposal, and they have come back in full support of the boundary change recommendation as well, so singing off the same sheet.
yeah, it is logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Right. Moving on to the wayfinding, which is page 62.
You need to agree
Oh,
with
sorry.
the council's support of the recommendations. So these are recommendations,
Right.
and we continue our support as well.
I propose that we continue our support for these community governance review items. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Barbara. All in favour? Thank you.
I object to the boundary change.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just historic, I just think it should maybe maintain the historic lines.
Right, okay.
Abstaining.
Are you abstaining?
Are you abstaining as well?
No, it's,
Move from boundary.
Sorry?
I don't think we need the 17 councillors, I think 50 is fine.
Right.
But
Right, okay. Right, so we've done that. Wayfinding. Page 62. Oh, mine has, so not necessarily, yeah, yes. So,
So page 62.
62.
Is this Borderlands?
Yeah.
Borderlands project interpretation and wayfinding.
Yeah.
So we just need to note this report, and I think we need to thank the officers concerned who are unfortunately not here tonight to receive our thanks in person, which is a shame. So we don't need to vote on that, do we? We're just
No,
noting
you can
it.
share your thanks. Yeah.
Any comments? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wondered when the installation was to start.
We don't have an installation date
Because
as
you're in
yet.
talks with Truth
Yeah, well, True Phone's
design work.
True Phone's the appointed contractor, their design and install. So they're just currently still at the early stages of the contract schedule, which is the design and interpretation phase. And then we'll be picking up the project ourselves in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be start talking about installation. So I don't have any dates at the moment, to be honest, and we'll share them as soon as we get them.
Remember we were talking planning about the foundations, weren't we?
Yeah. I do remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll share that so
Yeah.
everybody's aware, because we do some public comments
yes.
on that anyhow once we get to that point.
Chair, just for Ian's not education, but when we had the planning session, both Charlie and I were concerned about the foundations, the detail of them, and I was also concerned about the similar metals being used.
Right.
So they've got aluminium and steel,
Yeah.
and you're going to, at ground level, you're going to end up with.
That was the very word we used.
Yeah, we'll have a client. Yeah, we'll have a client meeting with them hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have them coming up to us. I'll have a chat with them. We'll raise that because I think there's been a foundation drawing circulated, hasn't there?
Yeah, it's.
Is that what well, yeah, because we've got the project group to get going as well. So,
But if you want any engineering input,
I'll have a chat with you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dan.
well,
There's public realm, which is just over the page. And I think Scott might be able to speak to this. Could you note in the minutes, please, Lewis, our
Yes.
thanks to the.
Yeah.
Thank you.
so Ian, do you want to?
I don't mind. I can give a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Town Centre Public Realm, Planning Committee resolved budget of up to £20,000 to appoint consultants to be commissioned to look at River Stage 2 designs for the enhancement of Middlegate, Market Square and Boroughgate, on the view that if the council has design work, spade ready if you like, or up to River Stage 2 anyway, but if any other government funds become available, the council's in a good place to submit applications for those funding pots. So the local architectural firm has been commissioned, started work, and those designs will be coming back through the planning committee in due course. So
Thank you.
we'll keep you up to date on those.
Yeah, so we just need to note that report, and I assume we all noted it. Thank you. It's quite exciting, really. Right. So the next thing is, oh, as I can see, budgetary control statement.
To ratify the finance committee matters, whether we want to take them on that spot into it.
Yeah, I've got here ratify by vote, but I think I would like to do each one separately. We just need to note the item called budgetary control statement, which is on page 66.
Question for you. Am I the only person who doesn't have an appendix A?
I have an appendix A.
No, I've got appendix B.
No, we just got balance sheets. I know it's changed from what we.
Came by email.
Maybe the, yes.
I don't know, I'll check with
Yeah, there you go.
it's not on the email version there, Roger, it's not in my hard copy pack, to be honest.
Yeah, an email came
Because there
around.
have been changes from what we discussed at the finance meeting.
No, this will be ratified, what was at the finance committee meeting.
What about these new environments that?
Oh, yeah, but those environments will go in, so this is ratifying what was approved at finance committee, and then, so appendix A would have been the one that was at finance committee, and then the next budgetary control statement will include those finance, the out report, well, that was
Oh.
financing.
I wondered if it was easy for members to approve the statement without having seen it.
Yeah, well, it must be in your email, it's on your email version.
Was it?
Yeah, but I ain't got down for a minute, to be honest.
In the email version, and it's in the public version.
Sorry?
It was sent, it's in the public version as far as the email says that.
Yeah.
And we were sent it via email.
Ah.
This was sent, it was sent separately via email, but it's in the public version, so it's.
And I have got a hard copy.
Yeah,
Something
my hard
called
copy-
appendix A.
my hard copy's got it.
Yeah, so I'm a bit mystified now as to what I'm supposed to be doing. According
Sorry,
to my
no,
notes,
no,
it
don't
says we note this.
Not wheels of
Well, we're ratifying 14, 15, 16 or 17, but we only have to note the budgetary statement, I think. Do we?
Ratify the budgetary control statement.
All right, well, we will ratify it then. Okay. I propose that we ratify the budgetary control statement 2025 to 26. Could somebody second that for me, please? Thank you. All in favour? Thank you.
Probably also worth congratulating the guys again, because the independent audit found nothing.
Yes, I had a note of that to congratulate our RFO and the finance team. I have a note of this somewhere. Yeah, record our thanks to the RFO, the finance committee and our auditor for these excellent accounts.
That'd be item 15.
Right, okay, that's where it is on my notes then. Fine, okay. So, yeah, so we need to ratify the internal audit report, which we've just been complimenting people on. I would like to propose that we do ratify it. Can I have a second, please? Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. And we need to ratify the fees and charges, which is 77, 75?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in essence, there's no changes from the previous year.
Yeah, there is about 4.
No, that's
Separate one.
16.
So, fees and charges are the same as for last year, or the current year, I should say, shouldn't I? Yes, this is for next financial year, 2026-27. Yes. Yes. So I propose that we ratify this. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Kenyon. All in favour? Thank you. And then item 16B, yes. This is to ratify the fee of £900 to be charged to Board and Elbow for the use of the area in front of the bandstand. There is a clause in here which is item 4 in the notes from the Finance Committee, that the corn market is not available for the Board and Elbow on May Day. It's the 4th, not May Day, but the day of our May Day carnival. And the Board and Elbow will be informed in writing of that. So they have already, right? Okay, and they're used to it, aren't they? Really?
We work very closely with the pub manager and the area manager of the brewery, and they're fully supportive of all the T's and C's.
Just out of interest, Madam Chair, how long has this relationship been going on? It's been a good long relationship, hasn't it?
Must be, well, post-COVID year was the first year. Yeah, so 5 years in, 6 years in.
Yeah, it's a good addition to the town, I think. It adds a vibe, doesn't it, to see people sitting outside in the sunshine.
All parties.
Indeed. So, I propose that we ratify this for the Board and Elbow. Yeah, we approve the consent, we ratify it. So, can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Jackson. All in favour? Thank you. And item 17, which is a review of the system of internal control, and the Finance Committee agreed, and we need to ratify the review of the system of internal control for the current financial year, which concludes that the adopted controls are adequate, appropriate and effective, and that they have operated consistently throughout the financial year. So I propose that we approve these. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. And 18. Position statement for digital and data compliance. So we need to ratify the position statement for assertion 10 compliance as agreed by the Finance Committee on the 23rd of February 2026 and supporting data audit and risk assessment. I propose that we adopt this, approve this, ratify this. choose a verb. A seconder, please. Thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Right. Standing orders.
Yeah, so Clark, page
97.
So Clark has reviewed the standing orders with particular reference to the clauses around the annual council meeting.
Yeah.
So the ease of your report, you'll see that she's set out the standing orders as they were written, line by line, and in the recommended amendments column whether to retain or make amendments. And then for ease, on page 99 is how the new wording would read actually in the standing orders. In essence, it's to better reflect the annual council meeting going forward. The writing in bold is legal, statutory required, just for information, that one. Should read very straightforward ultimately.
So we need to ratify these, do we not? Or we need to consider them and we need to approve them. Yes. Has anybody had a chance to consider them? It's good to see that there's a number that are no longer required. I like to think that we've weeded out some of the unnecessary stuff. Yes, I was going to say dross, but I thought better not. Please do not mean it dross. So, I propose that we approve these amendments to the council standing orders. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Barbara. All in favour? Thank you. Right. So, the next thing is the meetings dates for 2026-27, which is very difficult to think ahead, but we can put them in our diaries and try not to go on holiday at an appropriate time.
So the dates have all been through the respective committees.
Yeah.
And been accepted.
Yeah.
And largely they stay on a similar timeline
Similar pattern
to
to
current
previous
year,
years, yeah.
albeit to note there will be one less communities committee due to pre-election period next year will fall into because it's election year. Again.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just to
Yes.
approve those.
Yes, we just, I propose that we approve them. Can I have a second, please? And Barbara, all in favour of approving them? Thank you. Right, so the next meeting of the Town Council is scheduled for Monday the 18th of May at 7:15. This will be after the end of the annual town meeting, which will be at 6 o'clock until 7 o'clock, and it will be here. So please note that and change the time. And at this point, I'll close the meeting before we move on.